Hey, we finally figured out our audio difficulties. Thanks for joining us here this evening. Chief Meteorologist George Lessens, Facebook Live here tonight, along with Michael Behrens. Going to give you an update on what we are expecting over the next several days. Michael's looking at all of the chats that we've got going on, and we apologize for the audio issues from earlier. What you're seeing here is the what you would normally see on 13.2, our specific weather channel, only live channel here in West Michigan. Conditions right now pretty good over here in Grand Rapids and also along the lake shore. Hopefully you had a safe start to your day. We had that system snow come through earlier on Tuesday into earlier today, and it was a heavy wet snow. And with temperatures just below freezing this morning, there were a lot of slip and slide accidents out there. So let's get into what we're expecting here over the next few days and talk about the potential lake effect. And again, lake effect snow showers are starting to kick in after that system snow moved on out. Most of the activity will be along the lakeshore tonight. So inland areas, we'll just see a light dusting. Lakeshore areas are going to be under a winter weather advisory for Muskegon and Oceana County northward. That went into effect at 7 this evening and will last all the way until Saturday morning, maybe extended beyond that depending on the situation. Ottawa and Allegan and Van Buren counties southward, winter storm warning all the way until Saturday morning as well. And as we go through the day tomorrow, the warnings and advisories get extended inland. Newaygo, Mecosta, Montcalm counties, your advisory will go into effect at 7 tomorrow morning. Same expiration time, 7 in the morning on Saturday. Winter storm warning for Kent, Ionia, Barrie, Kalamazoo, and Calhoun counties, again, tomorrow morning all the way through Saturday morning. Higher impacts will be in the winter storm warning area. That's how we determine where the warnings will be. A winter weather advisory means a low to moderate impacts. Earlier today we had that winter storm watch in anticipation of these advisories and warnings. Here's what we're expecting impact-wise. Medium conditions, medium impacts for icy conditions, especially on Friday and Saturday, as temperatures will be staying below freezing during the entire event. So there will be no melting of the snow, no natural melting anyway. And from time to time, there'll be high impacts due to reduced visibility. At times it'll be snowing very hard. Other times it will lighten up. It all depends on the cold air that's coming in aloft. So this is going to lead to some very high travel impacts, again, especially Thursday on into Saturday, as there will be some wind as well. Some blowing and drifting of the snow on the north-south roads with that west-southwest wind. Low impacts from power outages, not looking for a lot. We had those winds from earlier this month that pretty much took care of any potential problems. Here's our HRRR model, one that really latches onto what's happening very, very close to the ground. You can see overnight we're looking at maybe 3 inches down in South Haven. That's that narrow stripe of blue across to Van Buren County and up in Oceana County as well. Less than that in most areas, maybe an inch plus there in Muskegon. This is all overnight into daybreak tomorrow, Thursday morning. As we go through the day tomorrow, we could see up to 4 inches of snow here in Grand Rapids. That darker blue is a 3+ inch amount on upwards towards 6+ inches in Fremont. So again, even though you're in the advisory area, some of the models are indicating a little bit more than that. This is all a plowable event. You notice toward the lakeshore there is less accumulation. That's because the warmer air coming in off the Great Lakes melting some of that snow before it can actually develop and move inland. So it looks like the higher impacts are going to be further inland. Looking ahead into Thursday night, Friday morning, already up to 8+ inches is possible. And I see there's a couple of narrow stripes. Michael pointed that out to me, that there could be a foot or more in a couple of spots. And this will all come within about a 36 to 48 hour time period. And this will continue into Friday night and into Saturday. So there's going to be quite a bit of snow falling. And the reason why we're getting this is all due to lake effect and lake enhanced snow. A couple of systems will come down and Lake Michigan will add the moisture to already what's coming in off the lake. And of course, with that warmer lake water in the upper 40s, that's the buoy out in Lake Michigan, and the cold land tomorrow, temperatures only in the mid 30s. But look at the air coming over the top of that. This is up around 4,000 or 5,000 feet. 15 degrees, so there's at least a 34 degree temperature difference, and that makes all the difference. The clouds just take off and create huge plumes of clouds, and that gets pushed inland by those west breezes, and so downwind of the lake we end up getting all the lake effect snow, except right at the beaches where that usually is just a little bit less. So again, there's going to be a lot of snow here over the next 36 to 72 hours, and hopefully you guys are prepared for that. I'm going to leave it on this last graphic to let that soak in. So I know there are a lot of questions. How much am I going to get in my community? What do you think is going to happen? How long is it going to last? Will we have snow days? Those are all decisions that are made by others. Unfortunately, not Michael or I. What do you have for questions here, Michael?
What are your thoughts on double-digit totals from Chris?
Oh, that's an opinion. I think we will see. I'm sure there will be. There were double-digit totals, kind of questionable from the last lake effect event up in Oceana and Mason counties. But sure, I could see double digits because it's not hard to get to 10.
It's expected to clear up by Saturday.
I think we're of the opinion it will not clear up until Sunday morning.
Traveling next week up and through our neck of the woods, is there any more systems behind this one that we're watching?
Yeah, there's another system coming on up, and it will be rain. It'll be rain Wednesday night into Thanksgiving Day. A couple of the models are saying we'll get into the 50s. So yes, there's going to be 3-4 really tough days to get through. It's Michigan weather. Wait 5 minutes.
What are we looking at for ground temperatures?
Ground temperatures, I don't know what the latest soil temperatures were. I don't remember. I think they were still in the upper 30s and low 40s. So it's not so much that the ground is above freezing, it's a battle. It's how fast can the ground melt the snow that's falling. So if the snow's faster than it can melt, it's going to accumulate. Yeah, there's going to be accumulations.
What about travel on Saturday?
Travel on Saturday, not that great, because starting Thursday night, temperatures are going to stay below freezing, so it'll all have to be treated or plowed. It's not going to melt.
Down toward Coldwater, what are you thinking down there?
Coldwater, yeah, the impacts won't be quite as high because with a west-southwest wind, it's going to be up more toward Kalamazoo. Not too much farther south, though. You're going to get into that 10 miles south, it's going to have 2 inches on the ground. 10 miles north, it's going to have 10. So traveling in and out or through these areas will be highly impacted.
That looks like it.
Well, okay. Hopefully we can figure out our new way of putting ourselves onto Facebook Live with our audio. Did an alternate thing. Thank goodness Michael was here tonight. Any other questions you might have, you can send them our way, either by email or text. We want to see your photos. Absolutely want to see your photos with a ruler stuck in the snow so we can figure out exactly where the heaviest snow has been falling. Best bet, get a pencil, write this down. I'll wait a half a second. Best way to send your pictures and 15 seconds of horizontal video would be to use your mobile device and text your name and location along with your photo or video to this telephone number, 616-559-1310. 616-559-1310. That'll get it right to where we need to, and everyone can share that. That's the most efficient way that we can get those on the air.
I got another question about White Cloud.
White Cloud. How about White Cloud? Awesome place. Yes, similar. You're going to see 6+ inches in most of those areas, maybe even up to an 8. Wouldn't be surprised there's more. This is a classic lake effect event early in the season. And then it'll all be gone by early December. Not all gone, but a lot of it will be melting.
Stephanie wants to know more about Newaygo and Fremont, since there seems to be a lot of variation in the model run.
Yeah, that's typical of banding of the snow. I wouldn't focus in on the numbers. I would focus in on the impacts. Whether it's 6 plus means it could be 6 to 112 inches. We don't put a top end on it. You'll get at least 6 inches, and there could be more. Yeah, we're a little different than the other stations. We don't put a top end because nobody ever sees the 6 part of 12. They only see, we're getting 12 inches, and then when they get 7, they go, we didn't get 12 inches. So that's why you'll see 6 plus, 8 plus. We almost kind of, would you call it guarantee you'll get 9?
Pretty good shot. Looks like.
Pretty good shot, absolutely, yep.
Lots of individual location questions. Woodhaven says looks rough.
If you know where you are on the map, you can kind of tell how much you think you'll be getting. There's a legend up at the top where there's that purple color, that first purple color is 12 plus. So there's portions of Kent and Ionia County, maybe southern Berry County, up toward Cadillac. A couple of spots could be over 12. So again, there's this is our first real big snowstorm coming of the season, and Michael is drawing something on the map here.
The warning area.
Ah, there you go. This is the warning area. Yeah, where the heaviest snow. I'm quite, you know, they also might upgrade the area to the north depending on how the snow band's set up. They can always change it over to a winter storm warning. But again, these are all in effect from now until 7 o'clock in the morning Saturday for lakeshore counties. And then by 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, those all get extended inland as lake effect snow just really cranks up here tomorrow. The added thing is going to be there's going to be a lot of wind with this. I don't say a lot of wind. It's going to be breezy Friday and Saturday, so there's going to be a lot blowing around. It'll be hard to keep those lanes cleared from the snow, and we will, of course, be on the air all the time from 4:30 tomorrow morning, 11 o'clock tonight, and all through into the weekend. And the all-important question from Sarah, do we think schools might be canceling for tomorrow? I'm thinking more on Friday, mainly because it will be snowing and melting in the lakeshore areas for a while tomorrow. The really cold air comes in on Friday. That's when everything's going to be sticking. I see someone hopefully get more than 2 inches of Muskegon. Yeah, that's probably, this only goes through Friday morning. This is the HRRR model. I thought we had the Euro model stuck in there. I don't think there's much more on the Euro model, but let's see what we've got. Stick this in here and see what we got. Euro model is more of a global model, so it doesn't really pick up on the lake effect banding. See, you notice how much different the Euro model is? It's just a broad amount with, somebody said, I hope there's more than 2 inches in Muskegon. Well, a broader model is 7, but this is working on a global scale, so it's harder to pinpoint exact locations.
You want to touch on maybe a bit of why the immediate lake shore is lower?
Well, you can explain that, Michael.
Well, I'm not mic'd.
Well, you're right next to my mic here. We're not. This is not COVID. We're not standing that far apart.
Well, but yeah, you guys right along the immediate waters, so areas in Muskegon, areas along the immediate lake shore within the first mile or so. You guys are kind of ended up in that little spot where the water is so warm that it keeps your temperatures too warm to see snowfall. So a lot of these heavier totals, you're likely going to see a little bit of a barrier gap between the immediate lake shore and what you guys have just a couple miles inland, where you could really see some of those heavier totals pile up.
Yep, just melting snow. Just the snow doesn't have a chance to come down out of the cloud because it's going up. And then it says, oh, there's no more lake. Okay, now I can fall out of the cloud. Well, that takes a couple of miles inland for it to start falling out. And then you'll always notice that on 96 you'll get to like Marne or Coopersville, and that's where the snow just ran out of steam and there's no more snow east of there.
Yeah.
That's why you run into this wall. All of a sudden, boom, there's that snow. That won't be the case because this is all coming way far in. Look at how far those bands come in, all the way past Lansing. So,
I would say to the school closing question, if I had a magic 8-ball, I think it's going to be hard to close schools early tomorrow because I don't know how much snow we're going to have early in the day. But I think it's going to be a lot easier to maybe close early or cancel late activities because it's going to get worse.
yes, tomorrow evening activities most definitely are at risk. And Friday is a high probability there wouldn't be any school.
I think Friday the chances definitely go up.
Yeah. And of course, there's no school on Saturday, and by Sunday night, all the roads will be cleared, and we'll be back to normal on Monday. And you don't want to spend all your school closing days early in the year, because then you get into February, Yeah. Oh, now we got to go till July for school. So,
Yeah, it's like
yeah.
there's early. That's the Euro, but
Yeah. Now, if you go back to the first period there on the HRRR, you'll be able to see that, an inch plus in Muskegon. Ugh. That's not a lot, and none right at the lakeshore. There's very, very little.
yeah, I don't think that gets us to closed in the morning criteria for a lot of places.
How about in the evening? Anything? Let's see. This is by tomorrow evening. It really comes down throughout the day.
Yeah.
There's a 6+ band right across Grand Rapids. That could be a little tough. All right, we don't want to take up any more of your time. I think we've been on a little while here, 16 minutes or so, and hopefully this gives you an idea of what we can expect this early in the season. So once again, appreciate you putting up with the false start at the top of the hour, and we'll figure this out and get the audio fixed for next time around. And so happy that you were able to join us. Join me tonight at 11 for more, and Sam. And who's going to be on tomorrow? Just Sam tomorrow?
Just Sam, and then I'll be out in the snow somewhere. So.
Okay. All right. Reporting live. All right. Appreciate you guys being with us tonight. Have a great night, everybody.